a lot of times a mistake done early on is you start actually targeting a sort of demographic that might not have the disposable income to be able to buy your product and services. They might not be the type of potential client that's even wanting to do the work. They kind of want it to happen magically. And so there's definitely a target market, which would probably be on the lower price point end, that you would find the same objections, you'd find the same resistance. And it's almost a false negative that would come out of just speaking to this target market when there's an entire different type of target market that are at a completely different price point, that for them, the value proposition is completely different. And what's interesting is when you get started, you feel like you don't even have the right to speak to that type of client because you might not have the experience to show to them. And you're kind of caught in between. You're like, oh my God, I need to start with the people that for a lower price point, but then they're not buying. I feel like I'm gated towards being able to sell to the people who have a lot more money, who could use my services. I feel stuck.
So yeah, I encounter this all the time. I was in that for a while before my business took off. What I would say to someone who's navigating that is it's a choice where you position yourself. Luckily, we're in an unregulated industry. Coaching's like the Wild West out here, and there's great things about that. And then there's kind of like terrifying things about it. But the good thing about it is there's no boss who's going to approve that you have enough experience or, you can talk to certain people in the market. It's just a choice for you. I've worked with so many people who come right out of the gate. I had a friend who's great wisdom in the product in e-commerce space, had never coached before, never done consulting, came out of the gate. We did some work together and he's like, yeah, I feel it's a $10,000 a month value. Like that's just the clients I'm going to work with. I'm not available for anything else less. And guess who he was signing? $10,000 a month clients. It's just a decision. And truly, I think about it and visualize it like lanes on the highway where there's cars in the lane that are buying $500 courses. And then there's lanes that people are paying $5,000 and then the $50,000 lane. You truly just choose and then inform. It's like how in personal development, we inform how other people treat us and how they think of us and the respect that they show because we set certain boundaries or communicate or think about ourselves in a certain way. I'm sure all of our listeners are really good at that. And that applies to business too. You inform your audience through your messaging and through a lot of other aspects of your business strategy and choices, how to think of you and how to view you. And so you can do that and be a premium brand from day one. There's no barrier to that. Just here.
I love it. Now, when it comes to the delivery of the product, right? So you have to think about, well, what do I deliver? What do I package? Are there some key things that you help people understand? Okay, if I'm going to be delivering something at a high price point, high ticket, are there essential elements that need to be a part of that? Or are there things I should be considering that I might not have considered if I was playing with low ticket?
Sometimes my clients will do funny things where they're like, okay, well, now we're going from $5,000 to $15,000. I must need to add a lot of stuff to this. And what I've seen personally in the 7 years I've been coaching people on this is a high ticket client, they don't want a lot of stuff. So this is kind of a misconception, a way that you might lower the value actually of your coaching by being like, I'll meet with you twice a week. We'll have nonstop Voxer access to each other. You'll be put in my mastermind. You're going to get all my courses. And a high level person is often seeking very high level close-knit mentorship with someone because they don't have a lot of time. They don't want to go through everybody's courses. They don't want to dig through. They want to get that laser focus, what's going to move the needle the fastest. That's just the type of person they are. I invest at a very high level because I'm like that. You probably are too. So we don't want to overload offers with stuff is key. You can provide less and have it actually be more. And you don't want to, I see a lot of people just selling the logistics and the process again of like, here's the components and here's what you're going to get and here's how much time you're going to get with me, which also then makes it difficult later on to segue into courses and passive products and taking yourself out of being the driver of the business. Because if you've taught and informed your audience to see the value of something based on how much time they get with you, you're going to be in golden handcuffs to your own business eventually. So we want to focus more on the outcomes, the takeaways, the accelerated path, the quick, like getting that VIP treatment to get the result that they're after as fast as possible. That's worth, like, we pay the money to save the time.
Yep. I find it's almost like a reaction of insecurity. Is like, I'm just going to throw everything at these people so that way I feel more secure about my offer. But you're right, that becomes overwhelming. And if you're dealing with someone that's a high performer at a high level, they don't have that much time. They just need the results. Thank you so much for listening to the Selling with Love podcast. We have some previous episodes you can tune into right here. And if you prefer the short form content where you get to the point in under 10 minutes, we do have a ton of clips from our best episodes that are being shared on this channel as well. So pick which one supports you the most. And of course, thank you for liking, subscribing, and of course, selling with love.